Okay, here we are again, a couple of guys and Ayurvedic cooking in the Not Quite Ready for TV cooking series that we're doing. This is a simpler meal, something that maybe is in the evening. We're going to have a broccoli potato soup with some kale, and it's going to go with a red bean pate with celery, red and green peppers, carrots, garlic, and ginger. And it goes on some pita chips. So it's kind of a nice light dinner meal. And Ayurveda, and I'll let Dr. Jain say something, usually suggests, if possible, for you to take your bigger meal at the middle of the day. So Dr. Jain, would you like to say a little something about that?
So, according to Ayurveda, we should eat our bigger meal when the Agni, or the digestive fire, is strong. And that is usually around between 11 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. As the evening comes, our digestive fire goes down, especially in Vatas and Kaphas. Pittas can still have some fire left, but most of the others don't. So we advise people to take a light meal in the dinner time so that there's enough time for it to digest before you go to bed. That's what.
Okay. So once again, you know, this is not gourmet cooking by any means, but we want you to begin to see how that sort of center, the vagar, the heart of things, works over and over and over again, and you're adjusting it according to your dosha. So what we're doing here, we have the mustard seeds, which is pungent, but a little bit of the oil thermometer bit going on. Some cumin seed, which is also a little bit heating. And here we have some coriander seed with Mataji's rock, and we're going to again just quickly crush it so that we open it up and it will release its flavor into the oils. Okay. While we have that going on, we're steaming a little bit of kale, and in this pot, you can probably see in just a moment, we have some broccoli. I'm going to turn that off. Broccoli, and there's some potatoes underneath. And we're going to use the potatoes to thicken the soup, and then there'll be some potato chunks and some broccoli blended, and there'll be broccoli and potato chunks in blended potato and broccoli kind of broth.
And as you can see, there is a lot of bitters in here. The kale is bitter, broccoli is bitter, even your beans are astringent. The carrot is sweet, red and green pepper are kind of sweet peppers, so they will be considered sweet and a little bit pungent. And of course, the celery is considered bitter. So, and then ginger and garlic are both pungent. So we are not taking too much sweet food here, because this is evening time, we want it easily digested. We don't want heavy foods, and you know, potatoes are there which are a little bit sweet, but they can get easily digested with the combination of what we are cooking.
All right. Okay, so we're going to use the similar format. We're going to get things started. We'll kind of let everything cook and get right, and then we'll come back just as we're finishing off. But once again, this is the pot to watch right now, so that you begin to once again become familiar with releasing the flavor from spices into oil. And while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put these cooked red beans, and they've been cooked with seaweed. And remember, I had said earlier that from our macrobiotic friends' point of view, cooking with seaweed where you can begins to allow you to add some mineral content back into things, which sometimes is a little bit lacking. That's why people take mineral supplements and the like. This gets it in a natural way from the ocean. You can see, careful, that handle will get hot. You can see that the mustard seeds are just starting to turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of ginger and garlic right in to give our pâté a little flavor. And your nose helps here. You can smell the fragrance coming off so that you know that the herbs of the garlic and ginger is starting to release its flavor. So again, you're seeing we're coating the vegetables with the seasonings that we've put in. Oh goodness, I'm getting excited here. So we're not going to cook these hard so that they become super soft. We want a little bit of crunch in this soft pâté. Let me see how we're going here. I think I can add a little bit more water to that. Thank you. There we go. We're going to go ahead and put this right in. Now you know why all those gods and goddesses have 4 arms and 4 hands. It's very helpful in cooking. And we'll just get a little bit of it right off of here. Now remember, you can adjust this in whatever way seems appropriate to you, according to your dosha. And Dr. Jain, do we have any cumin seeds?
Yes.
I mean, cumin powder? I'm sorry. We're going to put some cumin powder in here. I have some.
Coriander powder.
All right. I'll get some cumin powder. All right. So what we got, you can see, is a bean pâté that can go with chips. It's slightly warmed because, as Dr. Jain said, you don't want to do cold foods because it reduces your agni. So you could put this in a bowl, put a little coriander, cilantro around it if you like. We're going to adjust it for some flavors here, and when we come back, we'll blend up our soup, add our kale, and we'll tell you what we've done to our pâté to get it to the right taste, and we'll see you when we get back in just a few minutes. Thank you. All right, here we are back again with our red bean pâté, our broccoli potato soup with kale, and Dr. Jain is toasting up some chapatis, and we'll cut them up and turn them into chips, so it's a kind of light dinner affair. What you see in this pot is we sauteed some, in ghee, we sauteed some onions, garlic, and ginger. We took some of our broccoli and potatoes that we had steamed. We set some nice pieces aside. We're using the potato that we're using in this pot to thicken the soup, so it's a hearty evening soup. And we're also blending up some broccoli stems and a few pieces of the broccoli to give us a nice green color. We'll add some kale, fresh basil, and scallion. Now when you steam things, obviously there's nutrient comes out into the steam water, so actually what we're going to do is use the water that we had steamed the broccoli and potatoes in to begin to puree. And remember, I told you this is a handy little device. You can just put it right in the pot, and sometimes it gets a little wild, so I'll do it this way. Well, it's getting a little wilder than usual here. Must be my pitta. Okay, as you can see, that's a creamy soup. And what we're going to do is we have some water from the kale. So we'll put the water from the kale in. And we'll thin that out a little bit. And we'll just, before things get too carried away here, we'll just make a little pass across the stove. And once again, we'll simply blend all that together. It's starting to look very nice in consistency. And now what we'll do is we'll add the potatoes and the broccoli. We'll give that a stir. And I'm going to add some fresh basil. And some fresh scallion. I'll put the kale in first. It's looking nice. Now, Dr. Jane, if you'll turn some heat on there. We're just going to bring this up to temperature. And we're going to add some salt and pepper.
Looks very good.
And if you like, if it's a little, super hot day, you can make this a little thinner by adding a little bit more water to it and thin it down. Obviously, you can make it as thick as you like. This can be a nice sort of hearty evening soup. Some salt and some pepper. And just a touch of lemon. Kind of open everything up. How's the chapatis doing, Dr. Jane? They're kind of crispy, yes? Well, that's what we wanted. We wanted crispy chips. Remember, this is just two guys cooking and not quite ready for, not ready for TV cooking show, Ayurveda. All right, let's see how we got here. Well, wonderful. So we're just going to let that come up so that the basil opens up a little bit. And what we'll do then is we have some chips, and we'll just get a... Well, that's for that's our next segment. We're trying to... Here's what I'm looking for. We'll do this. Okay, and there you have a red bean pate with carrots, celery, green and red peppers, And you have a broccoli potato soup with kale,
Let me taste it.
fresh basil, and scallion.
Good.
And take your spoon, Dr. Jane, and try the soup. Tell me if it needs a little something.
It was not double dip.
What does it need?
I still have the patty in my mouth. Need some sour.
A little more lemon. So again, you can see that after a while you begin to develop your palate so that you look for all the 6 tastes. That's nice. I think just a touch more salt, it'll be all right. So there it is, 2 guys and a broccoli potato soup. Get another spoon, Dr. Jane, and see how you like it now.
Perfect.
All right, wonderful. Okay, hope it was simple enough that you would be inspired to give it a try at home. Remember, you can make any variation that you like. You can use any kind of beans. You can use navy beans. You can use chickpeas. You can use black beans. You can add fresh dill into this if you like. That would give it a bit of a cooling kind of pungent flavor. So, you know, once you start to see how these seeds and herbs work in the center of this, then you can begin to vary things using your own creativity so that you're able to provide something that's not only tasty for you, but is nourishing and healthy for your whole family. Once again, thank you so much for watching 2 guys on Ayurvedic cooking.